Sorry, I had so many kittens. She ended up having 3 kittens in my apartment, and it was like literally the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life.
This is Champaign is Also a Band podcast. One songwriter, one song. I'm Sven, your host for a journey into the music of Champaign-Urbana. Recorded in the Blue Box studio with a songwriter from the Champaign-Urbana music scene, past or present. Champaign is Also a Band podcast is a member of the Champaign Showers Podcast Network. Welcome to Champaign is Also a Band podcast. Today, I have Anika Emily. You may know Anika from a very long time ago. She was briefly in a pop-punk band called Free Fall Out Boy Concert. And apparently it was very short-lived, but nonetheless memorable. Today, we're going to listen to her song, Finish Line, off of the album that is slowly building, which is the Perimeter Road Studio Singles series. Anika, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So without further ado, let's listen to the song.
I should have warned that I'd get attached, but you should have known this. You've seen my past. I saw my pain in a crystal ball, and I warned you, and still you let me fall. But you shouldn't have done this at all. I love you to the stars and back. Love you like the ice is about to crack. I love till I'm burnt out of rhymes, but I'm sick of being tired all the time. Swallow up my pride, swallow up that lump in my throat, been there since you arrived. Loving you so easy till we make it to the finish line. So easy till I'm crossing behind. Yeah, so easy. Language do I have to speak to make you understand that you're hurting me? I saw it first, makes it my fault. Tonight this blame game won't end in a draw. No, 'cause you shouldn't have done this at all. I love you to the stars and back. Love you like the ice is about to crack. I love till I'm burnt out of rhymes, but I'm sick of being tired all the time. Swallow up my pride, swallow up that lump in my throat, been there since you arrived. Loving you so easy till we make it to the finish line. So easy till I'm crossing behind. Yeah, so easy. Loving you's a crime. My soul deserves to die. Grant me with 3 wishes and I swear to God it might. It's so sublime. My face too numb to cry. We're all just staying high until we make it to the light. So easy till I'm crossing behind. Yeah, so easy, the finish line. So easy, but you shouldn't have done this at all. To the stars in space, but I'm fucking tired of second place. I love till I'm burnt out of rhymes, but I'm sick of being tired all the time. Swallow up my pride, swallow up that lump in my throat, been there since you arrived. Loving you so easy till we make it to the finish line. So easy till I'm crossing behind. Yeah, so easy, the finish line. So easy, but you should shouldn't have done this at all.
All right, welcome back. So my first and favorite question to always ask is, what came first, the music or the words?
Oh my gosh. I think I usually write words first to start the song, and then as the song goes on, I kind of like write them more together, if that makes sense. But yeah, I think that this one started out with some of the words first, and then I sort of wrote that along to the music. I also had like a guitar part kind of that I was like, oh, I want to write to this. So I was kind of writing to those chords.
You had something that you were fiddling around with on the guitar, and you were like, I need to put something with it. But then you also had this other great set of words that you were going to kind of mash them together and make it work.
Yeah.
It's kind of a 50-50 on that one then.
Yeah,
huh?
definitely. That's kind of how I write most of my songs, is I will like write a bunch of words and also come up with like instrumental part and then kind of mash them together.
Is it more of like this kind of weird joining together, or are you like, I like the way that this makes me feel, these words make me feel this way, and so you do something on the guitar or on the piano, because you also play the piano as well, or keyboard, and then you kind of blend them together? Or
yeah, sometimes. Other times I just like write a bunch of words first, or I like write a full chord progression first or something. I guess it really depends on the song for me.
Where did the lyrics on this one start? Because sometimes I've noticed that some of the songs don't always start right at that first verse.
Yeah.
Sometimes something comes up first and then...
Yeah, I think I came up with like the bridge and the chorus first before I came up with the verses. I don't really remember. I wrote this a while ago, honestly. So
oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did. I wrote this over a year ago.
If you wrote this over a year ago and it was just recently recorded and released, how would you say that it's like changed and morphed as you've worked on it and put it together?
The biggest change was probably switching from me playing it to Jake, my boyfriend and also accompanist, playing it for me, because he really took the guitar part in a different direction than I had it in the first place and made it a lot more intricate and interesting. And also it sped up a lot when we started doing it together. So that was also kind of a big change from the original, I would say.
So some of the choices of rhythm, perhaps even, because I know that's kind of Jake's, of course, as Jake is sitting here and has not been allowed a microphone. I've noticed, like, you tend to have that very rhythmic and a little bit more syncopated and some more like faster strumming techniques. So I'm curious if that kind of brought some energy to the song a little bit.
I was gonna say, I think it definitely got like more energetic once we started playing it together. And then Jake actually played guitars and drums on the recording, kind of like the same elements from when we were doing it live got to stay in the actual studio recording.
Did you play there's a spot where there's some keys in there and stuff
I
like
played
that?
the keys.
Okay.
And then Will Penny, who works with Perimeter Road, played the bass.
You said that the bridge was probably the first place, and I'm notorious for, I don't know, maybe self-proclaimed notorious for naming things the wrong thing. Like saying that this is the pre-chorus, this is the chorus, and then this is the bridge. So when you said bridge,
I mean pre-chorus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The I love you to the stars and back part.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good. I actually labeled that as a pre-chorus.
Wow.
So,
yeah, that's what I meant by bridge.
And I was gonna say, like, to me that the bridge was almost like the so easy till I'm crossing behind. Yeah, so easy.
Yeah.
This kind of, to me, was like a bridge kind
that
of thing.
definitely makes sense. I probably just said it in the wrong way.
No, that's fine. It's fine. Hey, I'm just happy to get some things right some of the time. Okay, so you wrote that pre-chorus. That was your initial start.
I think so, if I remember correctly, yeah.
I guess we could just kind of dive in. What inspired this song? I have some ideas of where I feel like that this started, but is there a particular story that goes along with this song, or is it kind of an amalgamation of different experiences that you brought together?
Oh, it was definitely just one experience. Yeah, I guess without getting like too deep and personal into it. Yeah, I write all of my music based off of like really extremely personal experiences, and basically like what you hear in the lyrics is what is happening, or like what happened, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
But yeah, this was just like a messy relationship problem that I just felt like I needed to write about, and pretty much exactly what's in the song is really what was happening.
Not to go into too much detail, you know, this understanding of, let's just cut it to like when you're not in a very fulfilling relationship where you don't feel that your needs are being met, or like they're not emotionally there for you, or it's very, very easy to hold on to a person even in spite of some of the things that they do. And I feel like that pre-chorus that you said that you started is very much that, the I love you to the stars and back. Even in a worse situation, you still hold on. I mean, that's the part that I feel is kind of the linchpin of the song, perhaps. Mm-hmm. Like there's this sense of getting stuck.
Yeah, it's basically a song about like getting stuck in a situation, I guess, feeling like a lot of strong emotions, but not really being able to do anything about them, if that makes sense.
What does the finish line mean to you when you use that line, till we make it to the finish line? What does that mean to you to say the finish line?
Yeah, I guess like the finish line is really like, I didn't know what was going to happen. And the finish line was like, this is where it like could be at, or like where it will be at some point. But like we haven't gotten there yet. And we like don't know what's going to happen.
The finish line is kind of a loaded thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not trying to cross the finish line together. It's just trying to be done with the race, kind of, maybe.
Yeah, kind
a little
of like
bit.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Making it to the finish line symbolizes, like being done with the race and like having all of that like competition and stuff stop, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah. One of the things that kind of stands out to me is there's this kind of like, there's this one word that just sticks out in the song. It seems like that matches with that idea of like discontentment or like whatever. And that's the word, yeah. The way that you say it, each of the times, you say it 4 times, and each of the times you say it, it's like, yeah. Yeah. Like, okay, again, whatever. Yeah.
I think that actually is kind of where that came from.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oops,
yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I was looking for like something to fill that space, and I was like, that seems like to the point and like over it.
The line of till I'm crossing behind, that kind of implies, since we're talking about heading towards the finish line, like that you may see yourself as behind in this race a little bit.
Yeah.
And but you're crossing behind and you're getting ready to just kind of pass this other person. I
mean, really, that section was kind of just meant to be like drop down, like filler section, I guess. But yeah, I guess just like repeating those words, I just wanted to like emphasize what was happening in the chorus and emphasize the fact that it is so easy to like be in the race, as to say, and like being with this person. But then like till I'm crossing behind is like, it's not easy anymore because I'm like losing the race or whatever.
Do you have a favorite line that you have in this song?
I really like the I love you to the stars in space, but I'm fucking tired of second place. That just always like, I don't know. I really liked how they did it in the song, in the recording too, because they really did like a big drop and then like an explosive ending kind of. It's just like always exciting when it gets to that part. I really like seeing like the audience's reaction, and it does feel like very empowering. Where
did the line I love till I'm burnt out of rhymes, where did that kind of
that was because I was just writing so much about this one situation, and I like literally felt like I was like running out of rhymes to use because I was writing so much. I had rhymed everything with everything, it seems like, already, and I like literally felt like I was like running out of rhymes to write in songs.
Like, how did the recording of the song start?
So I think we started with like a scratch guitar track, because he wanted that to play the drums along with, to like know where we were at in the song. So we did that, and then we recorded the drums, which Jake played. That was one session. And then the next session, we recorded the actual guitar and bass. I think they did in that session too. They literally did the bass. I was like not even in the room, and I came in and I was like, it sounds great. And then we did vocals all in one day in the next session, and then we did keyboard, and then that was it. Yeah.
How did you decide on which parts to like harmonize with, or do you hear that when you're playing? You're like, I can hear this other voice going over the top of it.
I'd been thinking about it for a while because I like love harmony, and I love listening to music with harmony. So I definitely knew that I wanted my song to have a few like really major points of harmony. And I didn't really know what it was going to be until they just played the song a couple times and I just like sang random stuff over it. And it kind of just like got put together like that. Like I didn't really have a plan for it. It kind of just happened, like how I was feeling it while the song was going.
But the first time that your harmony comes in is that line of, but you shouldn't have done this at all.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, did you actually have all harmonies planned on all of these, or was it like you only kind of interspersed?
No, I just like interspersed them kind of. I had them play the song for me a few times and I kind of just sang whatever I was feeling in the moment over it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So some of those are very like improvised in some ways?
Yeah.
Or okay.
Pretty much all of them are. I really like harmony and I like sing harmony to a lot of things a lot of the time, so I'm pretty comfortable just like jumping in on a harmony. And so that's kind of what I did for the whole thing. I just kind of like jumped in at random moments and started singing.
When you originally put this together, were you using a capo or did it just
I was actually using it on a different fret. He plays different chords than I do with the capo on a different fret, and I
so it's the same key.
Yeah, it's
but
the same
you're just
key,
playing different
different chords. Yeah,
different shapes.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
'Cause I can't play bar chords.
Well, yeah. Sometimes they sound right, but also like I kind of feel like your style is more like open chords anyway. It wouldn't have that same sound to it. From the original, there was no key change.
No key change.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really particular about what keys I write my songs in. I'm really picky about my range, what notes I sing in what parts of my voice. It's kind of annoying, but I...
Wait, to you or to
to me.
Oh, okay.
Just because I would love to just like sing everything in any key or whatever, but I'm really picky about like how my voice sounds in different parts. So I like to make everything like in a very specific range for myself. So I never change the keys of my songs after I write them. And if I ever like don't have a capo or something, I am totally screwed because I like can't play it. I don't want to sing it in like a different key than I wrote it in, because I place things in my voice differently. When I change the key of something, I can't place the notes in the same places, if that like between my head voice and my chest voice. I have to make sure that everything's in like a perfect key.
Well, that sounds like a very strong focus upon the kind of tone that you generate with phrases that you sing. So, you know, you definitely have a certain tessitura in terms of where your range is, and like you get a certain sound.
Yeah.
And that makes sense. Does that, in a certain way, do you see that as how, like when you have certain phrases that you know that if you're in that particular key, you know that when you're going to sing this next phrase, it's going to be higher up and then like more gritty or more like forceful?
Yeah, I definitely think about that. Like when I'm singing, I personally feel like my head voice and my chest voice are like drastically different. I used to be a choral ed major, but I was in voice lessons and stuff at U of I. And I feel like my head voice has like stayed there to like the like professional, like almost operatic type singing. And then my chest voice has gone like totally in like a pop direction. It's really weird what like not training your voice does to it. Like not training it like properly, I guess, in that kind of a way.
I've noticed this with some of the stuff that you've performed, is that you do have that, like as you're finishing the phrase, like you jump into almost like a melisma or something like that, where you're holding the syllable with multiple notes. Has that always been like a part of your style?
Oh, I'm not sure. I think that's something that I've gotten into more recently, especially listening to like a lot more R&B music, because I feel like they do that more than like traditional like pop singers. I honestly haven't really like thought about that really ever, but I think that's like probably a newer thing that I've gotten from like the types of music that I've been listening to in the past year or two.
Do you feel like that also has a little bit more with your confidence in your songwriting? Earlier songwriters are much more likely to just be like instead of like, let's put a beautiful line together, right?
Yeah, I don't even know if it's as much confidence as it is I'm just like bored with stuff that I've like written in the past, and I want to try to change it up and like make it different and more unique. So I think it's probably more to do with that, just like trying to differentiate my stuff from other stuff I've written and other people's stuff.
So how long have you been singing and writing music?
Really forever. Since I remember writing music with my friends in 3rd grade specifically. We like had a whole book of songs. We would like write and sing at recess, and that's just like what we did all the time. And we like had a band. Yeah, so that's my first memory of like writing music. But I know I've been writing music like consistently really since then. So yeah, I've really been like writing since I was very young, and they were really stupid songs, so it wasn't like I was creating masterpieces when I was in 3rd grade, but I still remember some of them and they were really dumb.
you still remember some of the, care to?
Oh, no, it's okay. maybe after. I really got into writing and singing about like 2.5 years ago. Like I got more into it when I started going to open mics around, and that really encouraged me to keep writing and keep like performing my stuff out for people. So that was when I really got into it, like 2.5 years ago.
You mentioned that you were a vocal major. Is that still kind of your pursuit, or
no? So I started off college as a choral music ed vocal student. Then I ended up switching majors 1.5 years in to advertising. Right now I'm just kind of having fun and enjoying my time doing music around town. But eventually I'm looking to get a job more in like the advertising type field. Yeah. But I really want it to be like music related too. Like I want to do some sort of like music promotions or something like that. So I don't really want to work like in advertising.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was like, you wouldn't...
Not at like an agency.
You wouldn't be like interested in doing like jingles or something like that. Or maybe you would.
Maybe I would. I don't know. I could do that.
I always feel like if I write something, I have probably like 30 seconds worth of a good idea. And so I'm like, that's a jingle. There you go. You know? When you've written a song about a person, about a situation, do you ever wish maybe that person knows that this song is about them?
Usually they do.
Oh, usually they do. Okay.
I'm going to be honest. I feel like usually people probably know that my songs are about them. I like it, actually. At first it was a little bit uncomfortable, but I guess like once I got used to it, it's like a way that I can really speak my mind and be honest.
Do you feel like this is finally saying some of the things that you wish you could have said in the relationship, and that the person can maybe finally hear the things that you wanted them to hear in the first place?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was probably all stuff that was said before, but it's definitely like a good reminder. This song, it's not like in the style of a lot of the other music I write, I would say. It's like it's definitely more upbeat, more aggressive, if that's a good word to use, I guess. But yeah, it's definitely like not as similar to my other stuff as some of my other stuff is, if that makes sense. But it's still like one of my favorite songs that I've written. I think I was like really trying to challenge myself writing this song because first of all, it's like a hard song to sing, and I had to like work really hard on getting all the runs, and also because it is like in a different style a little bit than, not like drastically different, but like kind of different from my other stuff. Going
back to Jake's style of playing, was that part of what influenced that, or was that...
I think so,
Did you already have that? Okay.
I think it definitely like, it used to be like more in, like it was slower. I think that's the main thing. This is like the fastest song I've ever written. So I think that's like the main reason why I feel like it's so different. It's definitely more in like a pop style, I would say.
Champaign is Also a Band podcast is proud to support Jubilee Cafe. Jubilee Cafe is a free weekly meal program at Community United Church of Christ, 805 South 6th Street in Champaign, Illinois. Jubilee Cafe serves a home-cooked meal from 5 to 6:30 each Monday. Their mission is to feed hungry people by cooking healthy, delicious meals and by serving their guests restaurant-style with servers waiting on tables. Jubilee Cafe is open to anyone who cares to eat with them. Because food insecurity among students is so high, they serve students as well as others in and around the Champaign-Urbana community who struggle with hunger. Meals are free to all and will be served each Monday evening. Located in the accessible lower level of the building at 6th and Daniel Streets in Champaign. For more information on the meal or how to volunteer, go to the Jubilee Cafe CUCC Facebook page or email them at jubilee.cafe@community-ucc.org. That's jubilee.cafe@community-ucc.org. Welcome back. So, let's talk about the scene a little bit. Do you have a favorite venue around here in Champaign-Urbana?
Yeah, I have to say my favorite venue is Canopy Club because I just have so many like very unique, different memories from there, from like literally every year since I've lived here.
Well, and you mentioned that the Canopy Club, their Monday night open mic night, I'm assuming that was one of the open mics that you were referring to.
Yeah, that was the first one I ever went to with my friend Tori Leppert. She used to be a local artist around here. She's in LA now. She took me to this open mic at Canopy Club, and I had never been before, and I remember we played Riptide by Vance together.
Nice.
And I just remember it was so fun. I was like, wow, I want to do this all the time, every week. Pretty much ever since then, I've been going every week for the past couple of years. And it's just been the biggest place of growth for me as an artist because it was just the first time that I ever felt comfortable like performing on my own in front of people. Because I grew up doing like choir and theater where I was surrounded by other people on stage. But this was like my first time doing something just solo. It's just been such a good experience. And I've had so much growth since I started going there.
You mentioned earlier that it inspires you to keep writing new and different things so that you can bring it to the open mic.
Definitely. I'm always really excited when I have a new song that I've written that I can share with people at open mic, and people are always just like so nice about it. Anytime anyone does anything new there, you can count on other people coming up and being like, I loved your new song, because people are just like so supportive there. It's been really great in helping me with my writing and continuing to write and being motivated to write.
Before we began the interview, you mentioned that the Espresso over at Nevada and Goodwin on the first Thursday of the month. Okay, so I guess I meant Oregon and Nevada. They have an open mic.
Yes.
And do you facilitate that or is that someone else?
Yeah, I host and run that open mic. Yeah, I started it about a year and a few months ago. I'm pretty sure we actually started at the Daniel Street location of Espresso that is closed now. Yeah. And then we ended up moving it over to the Oregon Street store. And I've actually worked at the Oregon Street store for the past 6 years. It like really made sense for us to do it there. It feels like my home. It's a really good atmosphere for the open mic.
So the Canopy is your favorite venue. Is there any like really cool shows that you've seen at the Canopy that you look back and you're like, this was an amazing show? Or your favorite show? Well,
I saw like one of my favorite, it's an electronic duo called Odesza, and I actually like have a tattoo for them, and they like were a really big part of my life for a few years. I kind of like followed them around the Midwest and like watched their tour, and they played at Canopy, oh god, I don't remember the year, like 2015 or 2016. It was like before they got to be like really big. They're like really big now. It was like a really small, intimate show, and I'm just really lucky that I got to see it before they like started doing these like huge shows at like sold out venues. Yeah, I don't know. That'll just always be like one of my favorite memories there. And also I see the Floozies every time they come, and we're going on Sunday. Tomorrow? Is that today? No, tomorrow. Yeah, we're going to see the Floozies tomorrow, and I see them every time they're there, and that's always a really good show, and it's been like a special thing to keep up with, kind of.
And that's in the main
room,
large,
yeah.
Is there, what's the difference? Like, not the difference, but the smaller room, there's a name for that, and I forgot what it's called.
Is it called the Red Room? Is that what they call it?
Oh, the Red Room. Okay.
But yeah.
And then the other one's just like in the big room,
yeah,
or the main room. Okay,
I guess.
Yeah. No, I thought I saw it, and I'm like, oh, that's what they call it, and then went right out my head.
Yeah,
I forgot. How did you get connected with Perimeter Road to record the song?
So last semester, I took a music recording class at Parkland. And Adam, the teacher, is in charge of Perimeter Road, and he's like the faculty advisor or whatever for them. And also my TA for that class was my friend Luke, who also does sound at Canopy Club, so I knew him from open mics. I knew Adam and Luke from the recording class, and then I also knew Luke from Canopy Club. Then he just ended up asking me if I wanted to be the first artist for this year for the single series, because they knew that I was looking to do stuff like that because I had taken the class last semester.
Cool.
Yeah, so it was really perfect because I have been looking for a way to like get started recording because I'm just like kind of scared to do it myself. But having the support of all of them and all of their expertise was just like really perfect for this because they taught me a lot, and now I feel a little more comfortable that I could do something myself.
So is this part of a class that people are taking, or is this just like a few people that are already involved in the program at Parkland that work on this as well?
Yeah, it's separate than the class. Most of the students that are in the Perimeter Road, like in the club, are also students in the class or like were students in that class. So that's how they get most of the people to participate. It's separate than the actual class.
It's basically they want to do it for their own practical experience. It's not part of a class. They're just doing it because they enjoy it and they want the practical experience.
Yeah, it's like an organization at Parkland. Yeah, so it's like an separate from outside from school thing. Yeah.
Gotcha.
They also host a music festival that I'm going to be playing at, and I wish I remembered the date of it.
It is May 2nd.
Wow, it's May 2nd.
And the only reason that I know that is because I won't be in town.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so shame on me.
But yeah,
they Perimeter Road Festival.
Yeah, Perimeter Road Music Festival. Yeah, so I'm going to be playing at that. I heard them talking about some of the other artists that they were trying to book, and it sounds like it's going to be really exciting. So yeah.
Very cool. Unfortunately, the Perimeter Road Music Festival that was scheduled for May 2nd of 2020 has been canceled due to COVID-19. Although that's very, very sad. We have to be safe, practice social distancing. So have hope because they are scheduling it for 2021. So keep an eye out for that first weekend in May 2021. What made you choose Finish Line as like the song that you wanted to record with Perimeter Road?
I actually asked a bunch of people and was like, what song do you guys think I should record? And most of them were like, Finish Line. And I think that that's been like a consistent fan favorite over the past year. And people always seem to really like that song and get really into it. So I was like, might as well just like start out with a bang and just like do the one that people think is the most entertaining, I guess, for my first recording. The
cover for this song was done by students, and I can't remember, were they in the graphic design class or something like that?
So
and they became involved?
Yeah, it was all of the students in a particular graphic design class at Parkland, and one of their class projects was that they all designed an album cover and a poster for my single, and then they gave me all the options and just let me pick whichever one I wanted.
Boy.
Yeah, it was a heavy task, but it was it ended up being really good, and I love the album cover that I chose, and Julian did a really good job on it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Were they like, you didn't know who had done it?
I actually did.
You did?
They presented them to me. I went into their class and they each individually presented me their ideas and like explained them to me. It was really cool, actually. It was awesome.
So the artist that you finally selected, when they presented it to you, why did they design it the way that they did?
They actually based it off of a photo of me that we did like a little photo shoot for like promotion stuff. And then they got all of the photos, and most of the people in the class took the photos and like edited the photos. This guy made a complete like re-illustration of the photo, and I just thought that was really cool that he took the time to draw my face. A lot of the colors on the album were based off of my social media and like my website, because I have a lot of like pastel pinks and purples and blues and stuff like that. So I think that the color of the whole cover was based off of like my particular taste, so I thought that was cool. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like they did their homework, which is kind of cool. Like,
I was really worried because I didn't even know if they had heard the song. I was really nervous that I was going to get some weird stuff that didn't really like make sense with the track, because I didn't know if they even knew anything about the song. I didn't know if they had the lyrics or if they like even knew enough to like look me up online or anything. So I just like did not know what I was going to get, but I was really happily surprised by the results. It was really great.
That's cool.
It was a hard decision.
How many were there?
I think there were like 20. Yeah.
Is the Canopy Club also your favorite place to perform? Non open mic.
I think my favorite performance probably was at Canopy Club. When I played for Fuck Finals, they have an event called Fuck Finals at the end of every semester. And I played last year, I played my own set. And then this year I did a couple songs with Jake for his set. And playing in the big room at Canopy is really fun.
Whoa.
Yeah, I had never played in the big room before that. And there were just like so many people, and like they were all dancing and like right in front of you, and the space is just like really big and cool, and the stage is big and the lights are cool, and it was just like a really awesome experience.
The fact that they put that in the large room.
Yeah, it's a
so
pretty
like
big
it actually
event.
gets packed.
Yeah, it does.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, because it's kind of like a ticket selling game, or like we all get the artists all get tickets to hand out to their friends, and like whoever gets the most tickets brought back in, you like get money or something. I don't know. I just
Nice.
like basically the point is to get as many people there as you can for free, because you give them free tickets. So yeah,
Okay.
it's really great.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you see like a big difference between like the campus music scene and like the CU community like music scene? I don't know. I'd love to see those kind of blend a little bit more.
Yeah.
And it feels like there's kind of a separation between the two.
Yeah, I think that's like one of the things that I am hoping to achieve with my open mic at Espresso is trying to get more students involved. And one thing that's been really great with that is like students that will just be like on their way home from class and stop into Espresso for a drink and be like, oh, there's an open mic going on. And then they'll hear that we still have space. And then they'll just like sign up randomly. And it's people that like I've never seen before, people that maybe have never even like performed at an open mic before, but they just like stop in on their way back from class or something and we'll do a song or two. And I think that's been really awesome. But I think, yeah, there should be more ways for the local community to connect with like more of the campus music scene.
I always feel like the blending spot is like the house shows, you
Yeah.
know? Like that's where there's that overlap. But yeah, definitely some of those open mics are a really good conduit for like getting new people into that scene.
Yeah, I'm not a student anymore, so I don't know too much about the music scene like within the campus or like within the school. I definitely have been seeing more students come out to the Espresso Open Mic, and I think it's partly because it's like more of a comfortable atmosphere, because Canopy can be a bit much. If you are like a new person going there, I can see where it would be really overwhelming because there's a lot of people and everybody kind of like knows each other already. But at Espresso, it's just always like a very open, inviting atmosphere, and it's just really welcoming, and I would say anybody would feel comfortable playing there.
Champaign is also a Band podcast is proud to support Exile on Main Street. Exile on Main Street, located in the old train station building at 100 North Chestnut Street in downtown Champaign, has been helping to build record collections since 2004. Carrying a wide array of new and used LPs, CDs, and video games. Exile on Main Street has something for just about any music enthusiast and old school gaming devotee. Exile also hosts regular free live music shows on its stage, so be sure to check out their Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages for the up-to-date details on the next upcoming event. Open 7 days a week, they can be reached by phone at 217-398-MAIN. That's 217-398-6246. Anika, what is your favorite non-musical thing?
My favorite non-musical thing has to be my cats.
Yeah?
Yeah, I have 2 cats right now. Actually, last year I adopted my cat, and I had never had a pet before in my life. And it turns out that the cat that I adopted was pregnant when I adopted her.
Oh.
Sorry, I had so many kittens. She ended up having 3 kittens in my apartment. And it was like literally the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life, getting to take care of 3 little kittens. I kept one of them and the mom, so now I have 2 cats. And yeah, it was just like the best thing that I've ever done, like raising kittens. It was so great.
Okay. And so what are their names?
So Nova is the mom, and then the kitten that I kept is Luna, and then when my friend adopted one and my family adopted one, so they're still like in the circle. It is Lux and Stella. Yeah.
Nice. So like all star
spacey names. Yeah. They just make me really happy. I really like hanging out with them.
Did you have pets growing up, or
No.
did you? Oh,
I never had any pets growing up. It was kind of like a random decision to even adopt a cat. Then she ended up having kittens, and that was even crazier.
What was the inclination to have a cat in the first place?
I was just like living on my own, and I was like, it would be great to have a cat around. Also, I had a couple friends that had just recently gotten cats, and they loved them so much, and I loved them so much. I was like, I need one of my own. So I ended up just adopting one because one of my coworkers had a similar situation where he ended up with a litter of kittens that he couldn't take care of all of them. And I was like, this is perfect. I'll just adopt one. And then she ended up being pregnant, and it was just crazy. But yeah, it happens, I guess.
So how long have you had the cats, did you say?
I have had Nova, the mom, for like a little bit over a year. And then the kittens were born in May.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah.
Yeah. Any other favorite non-musical thing?
I guess I could say my job.
Oh yeah?
I'm the assistant manager at Espresso Royale. I've worked there for the past 6 years, and it's kind of become like my home now. So yeah, I don't know. It's a good job, and I really like my coworkers. So
you are a big fan of coffee to begin with.
I love coffee.
So,
yeah, I've actually worked at coffee shops for because I worked at a different coffee shop for 3 or 4 years before I worked at Espresso. So I've worked at coffee shops for a very long time. Even though I don't like going to work all the time, it's still probably my happy place to be, because coffee shops just make me really comfortable.
I was going to say, do you have a favorite drink that you like to prepare? But do you also do the fancy
latte art?
Foam? Yeah, latte
Yeah.
art. I was like, oh, what's that called?
Yeah, I do it sometimes. I've gotten a little bit out of the habit in doing it because people just don't really appreciate it. And then I'm like, why did I put in all this work if you're just going to put a lid on it? But no, I do like doing latte art. It's fun. I saw a latte art competition once at this thing called Coffee Fest that I went to, which was an expo at Navy Pier. And they had a latte art competition. It was really cool to see how into it these people got and how good they were. They could do a bunch of different designs and stuff. I can just do one.
I'm kind of wanted to hit the brakes when you I went to Coffee Fest.
Yeah.
So how did that happen?
That was when I was working at the old coffee shop that I used to work at called Graham's 318. It's in the suburbs. I worked there in my hometown. One summer they just sent all the employees to this expo called Coffee Fest, and it was just this big thing where there were different classes you could take about coffee and tea, and different vendors with selling just a million, anything you could think of related to coffee or tea. And then they had a latte art competition. Yeah, it was really cool. I actually would love to go back someday.
Anika, thank you so much for coming on the show and telling me about your song Finish Line and about the Canopy Club and your early experience with open mics and how that inspires you and your favorite non-musical thing. And I look forward to hopefully you sticking around and sharing more of your talent with the Champaign-Urbana music scene. I'm glad that you're here, and thanks for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. This was really fun. Thank you for listening to Champaign is Also a Band podcast. This is Anika Emily reminding you, great music is out there. Go find it where you live.
Anika, thank you so much for being on the show.
It's Anika.
I did it again. And I even looked at it. And I was
sorry.
Did I say Anika?
You said Anika.
You almost have an NPR voice. It's so good.
Studio, South Bigger, on the inside.
Maybe we can table that discussion for another time.